Hi, this is Linda with KC Creations by Linda, taking you on a tour of my latest journal. It is a Beekeeper journal. The paper set is from Digital and SVG Designs for You, and I'll put a link to her store in the description box and the two sets that I used. I used the Beekeeper journal set and the Beehive loaded pocket. It does measure 9 by 6. It has a 4.5-inch spine. It is chipboard, so it's hard cover. On the front, I have put the Beehive loaded pocket. I'll take all these little cuties out. It is full of stuff. So you can see the cute little beehive behind it. Here we go. And behind this little label here, we've got these two little guys. And all of the cards and tags throughout are backed with an additional layer of cardstock. That way it keeps them very sturdy and they won't bend on you. There's a little fussy cut, a little flower with the bee on it. I put a little bee on the top of that one. And in the other pocket, we've got some bees, all about the honeybees, and beehive syrup. And in the little bottom pocket, got a little mason jar filled with honeycombs and a bee. There they are in a jar of honey. Queen bee, and a little fussy cat. This is a caramel colored chiffon ribbon I used as a bow, and the closure is matching chiffon ribbon, and I finished off the ends so that they thread through the grommet real easy. This is a jump ring journal, and I have made it, as always, chunky. So here is your first section. You can see the little jump rings there holding it onto the spine. And there's eyelets on both sides. This is tied with a kind of peachy colored chiffon ribbon. I fussy cut out the little bee there. These little tickets, honey, a little bee. And it's got a little pull out from this pocket. Pretty bee on the honeycomb. Lined paper. It says the elixir of life to thousands. Here I fussy cut out a queen bee. These little guys. And it has a little pull out also. And it flips open. I took some of the backing paper and made a slide card. There's the beekeeper tending the little box of bees there. Little fussy cut bee. Out of the specimen card, there she is writing about the bee cultures. It says, believe in yourself. And I've cut out another little fussy cut bee. An entire sheet of fussy cut bees come in this. On this side, we have a flip. Oh, I got my little note there. We'll take that off. You don't really need that. And we've got an envelope here. And it opens up. It says, be bold. It's a pretty jar filled with flowers, all the bees swarming around. And on the end of the baker's twine, it's gold, is a little bee there. Then this flips down. Let me see if I can get it all on camera here. Flips down, you have an image. This is the back of the envelope. And I've made a pocket. It says, always be your own queen bee. There's the beautiful image, the beehive hanging there. Queen bee again. There's an elderly gentleman tending the bees. And pure extract of honey. And then it flips open this way. We've got 2 envelopes here. They have magnetic closures. These cards. It says, let's get buzzed. This is a little matchbook. Got all kinds of little pages in it. They're double-sided for some journaling. It just folds back into there. And there's plenty of room also. You can, I think I'm all right. You can add something else. It says courageous. And there's the honeybee. This one also has a magnetic closure. My fingers in here. These 2 little cards. Lovely lady holding a honeycomb. There's the beekeeper with his safety guard on, his safety clothing. A little dog watching him. And then here, I've made a big acetate window as the belly band. Fussy cut out this little bee on the honeycomb there. There you can see that the frame finishes the image underneath. There's an old pickup filled with flowers. Some guys tending the bees. And here's some more. And then go to this side. Let's move back in camera. This is blue chiffon ribbon. And we've got a big flip here. Made a little pocket out of this. No, I made a little notebook out of this. It says Be Beautiful. Little magnetic closure, little journaling spot there, and a little card. It just snaps right down. Down here's a little pocket. 16 ounces of honey requires 1,152 bees to travel 12,000 miles and visit 4.5 million flowers. That is quite the journey. Has a pull out from the side. Little bee, it's its pull. Swings open this way with the little pockets in the kit. There's these 2 cards. It says fresh honey. And then over here, get back in there, little guy. Over here we have another flip. These little, I cut these out, they're little wheel tabs. I put a little bee on each one, and they are magnetic closure. This swings down, this swings up. You have little journaling space on both places. Little pocket up here holds the pretty sun hat with all the flowers on it. And behind the honey is an elderly gentleman doing something else with the bees. And then here is a pocket. And I have a Mamby, so I cut out the top there, decorative. You can, let's see. There you can see how it's cut out. Still card, beautiful wax candle. It opens this way. We've got a little tag here that says let it be, and I firstly cut out one of the big jars says, "Don't worry, be happy." Beautiful key. And this just lifts right out of here. And you've got some journaling pages, and they're all double-sided. Big pocket here. Finishes the image of the beekeeper. There's admit one, and this is my favorite card that she makes. But unfortunately, I don't do it correctly, but I just love it this way, and I know you've heard me say that before. I did make one correctly in here to show it to you. But you're supposed to bend this over and it makes a cute little pocket. I just like the length of it. Here's another beehive with all the pretty yellow flowers. It says, "My blood type is B positive." And we have the new beekeeping journal for bee cultures. And all the different kinds of bees. I put a big fussy cut on that. And we go to this side. This is green chiffon ribbon as its closure. We've got a flip going this way. I made a little pocket with acetate windows, little eyelet. So many layers in this one. Let me get the right one. There we go. See the little bee under there. And under here we have the beekeeper. Then behind there we have a big card. It's all the honeybees. It says "Busy Bee." Then it swings open. Got two pockets here, and these were the larger pockets. All I did was resize them for my page. There's the queen bee. There's some bees looking in the honey jar. There's another beekeeper. Honeycomb with some bees in the little jar. And here we have 3 flips. And in the first one, looks like an old wishing well to me. But it's got a top on it. All the honey's dripping down. They've got bottles of honey. Behind the pretty hat, we have beehives. And up here, there's a honeycomb with a bottle of honey tied with burlap. Then they all swing open. We've got just the figure 1, figure 2, and figure 3. It's the queen, the drone, and the worker. And over here, I've cut out, again, some whale tabs, and I've put them on with the gold brads there. And each of the little windows has a tall card, little bee. This is twine. Little bee on the dangle there. And on this one, beautiful honeycomb, another little bee. And it's a magnetic closure again. It opens up. We've got a double pocket here. I thought this card was cute. It's shaped like a honeycomb. Little beehive honeycomb. And up here we have these cards. Beautiful box. It says "Sweet like honey." Just all fold in. flip it again. This is the caramel ribbon. I cut out from my dies, I just cut out some of the back paper, the blue, and then I put the big ragged circle on the top there. I just open it like this. You've got a little journaling spot there. And get my angle right. There we go. And this one the same. I cut out the big bees there. Another little journaling spot. Then it swings open. And these little tabs, they just turn like so. Swinging open, journaling space there and there. This one I made into a pocket. This is beeswax candles. Nature's sweetest gift straight from the hive. This one you also just turn it, opens up, little journaling spots there. And then here we have a little flip, and I've cut out these little, I don't know what you call these things. They go around to protect the edges. When you cut a slice in your paper there for a pocket. It says, "Show me the honey." And again, the fussy cut bees. This says, "We belong together." It flips open. Angled pockets, organic honey. This is the way the tab that I showed you that I used wrong. This is the way it's supposed to be. Just fold it over and made the little pocket. Fussy cut out some flowers. These two little guys, beautiful rocks with the flowers growing around them and the bees visiting. And here we have a big belly band, and I've made 3 little pockets. It's a little ticket to the bee fair. Here's the beekeeper, another one. And another little ticket. And it completes the image underneath. And then the belly band I have made where it holds these cards. Just slide it right between the 2 layers of cardstock there. Well, you saw me take it out. It's got to go back in, right? Oh my goodness. There we go. I can see it better on that side. And then we've got this that slides out. Little booklet. There's some secret journaling on. On this side, everybody stop flipping over here. This is some bright yellow chiffon ribbon. I've got a flip up here, one of the little envelopes. You just turn the little bee there and open it up. There's the bees. Behind it, I made a pocket. This is the queen bee registry. And some more extracted honey. And it flips open. Pocket here. I fussy cut out one of the jars with the bee on top. Little bee on the top of this one. There's their suit they wear. Here we have a flip, just a little fussy cut there for decoration. And it swings open. Again, one of the large fussy cats. Bee in the flowers. Of these little guys. And this is just a resized, smaller version of the big one. Some yellow baker's twine at the top. And over here, let's see how I did this. There we go. Made a pocket here. It's got an acetate window. Magnetic closure. Close these cards. Turn them facing the back so you can see them. I think that's all on this page, yes. And then it flips down. You have some journaling space here. Belly band. And the band completes the image underneath. And I rusted one of these old paper holders. This is cardstock, so you can take it out and it's strong enough to write on. And there's several double-sided papers in here. And you can refill it if you want. You just find the holes, poke a hole, and add some more paper if you want. Let's fold it back up. And we're going to flip to this side. I said it was junky. This is some chocolate brown chiffon ribbon. For a little bit, I think. Got a flip here. This little bee there turns for this big envelope. I can get it out here without sticking my head in the camera. There we go. Got these big cards. Nice journaling places. And down here we have a pocket. Beautiful candle. And then it swings open this way. Another belly band. I put the little image on there of flowers and the bees. There's an Oriental man working with the bees. Then on this flip, I've got some more. This little, it says, "Be yourself, do your own sting." Little gold thread there. You just turn it, and this flips open for another little journaling spot there. And just put one of the cards on that as decoration. It says, "Mind your own business." Little pocket there that completes the image. And then it swings open this way. Another big band. Another little booklet. Got some eyelets and with some yellow baker's twine for another little journaling spot. Quite a few pages, all double-sided again. And over here we have a flip, little bee here. And it opens up. Got a big pocket here. Because I cut out one of the iced tea containers. And this is a little folded pocket which holds these cards. There's the dog looking at the bees. There's the back. Then you have this big journaling spot here, big journal card. these little pieces. There we go. And on this side, this is blue chiffon ribbon. Got a flip here. Made a little pocket out of this picture of an old-timey beehive. This is pure honey. And on this little pocket, and you saw the larger one, I just resized it. It says, show me the honey. And it has a little pull out from the bottom. And I cut it where it looks like a file folder. Excuse me. Then it opens up. One of the big fussy cuts of the bee there. These little guys. And I made another specimen card out of the backing paper. Put a pretty bee back there. This beautiful jar of honey with flowers tied to the top. Here we have 2 envelopes. Just turn it, opens up. Another little notepad. Here is the same thing. It says happy vibes only. It opens up. Another little booklet, double-sided paper. Opens this way. Got a little flip here and a little flip here. Have little cards. This is some orange baker's twine. It's in this little pocket. And this one also, a little decoration there. There she is, filling up the honey jars. There we go. Then you open it up. Made a big cellophane window here. I put some bees on the honey jars. Then on this side, this is elastic, and this little guy is on here. You can move it around. And it holds some cards, and there is plenty of room to stick lots of stuff behind there. But I made some really big journaling cards. And a little notebook. And we've got this one, caramel ribbon again. We have a little flip here and a flip there. And these were cards, and all I did was glue 2 together and put a tab on them so they could be turned into a flip. And the pocket completes the image. And then it flips open. Again, completes the image. And over here we have 3 little pockets. It says fresh honey, beekeeper. If I run, you run. It says pollinators welcome. All these little cards here. And this one holds these guys. It says be happy. Here. little flip. And then I've made these in, they're little cards. I made them to little tiny pockets. It says, be yourself, do your own sting. Another pretty ticket. B. Big pocket there for these cards. And there's my favorite one. I did not bend it. This one I did bend. So see, I can do it. This is beeswax. We have got what I pull out from underneath. It's a little booklet. You open it up. On this side, you've got a ticket. Little jar. Honey. The old Beehive. There he is. And then on this side, we've got honey from the Farm Fresh, 1928, Queen Bee, and a pretty fussy cat. On this side, this is kind of the peach chiffon. We have a flip this way. And I put one of the Beehive there, made a little tuck spot for these little guys. Made it into kind of like a little file folder there. Tab on the side. Swings open. I think I went too far. There we go. Little pocket here. Little flip here. Another one of the big fussy cats. Again, this one is a mirror image to that one. So pull out from the side. And it opens up. It has another pocket. And we have another belly band. Completes the image. Another big journaling card. There's a lady dipping out the honey. And beekeepers, husband and wife. And we're getting there, ladies. This is a burgundy chiffon ribbon. We've got a flip going this way. Let's see if I can get back where I was. There we are. I made these into pockets. These are cards. You've seen them in the album. And I just used them as little pockets. Beautiful key. Another ticket for the bee show. Here, there's a beehive hanging from a beautiful tree. It's Queen Bee. And it swings this way, belly bend here, and I put one of the little cards, used it as to make a tiny little tuck spot for these little guys. And behind it, got a little notebook. Lots of pages, and it is tied with some yellow twine, so you can find the center and slide more pages in there if you would like, of your own choice. They are double-sided. And on the front, I made a little pocket. I just cut out around the bee there. There's another beekeeping journal for successful bee cultures. And over here is a flip going this way. It's a little envelope, magnetic closure again. Again, get in the right position to get them out. There we are. Cards. And there's plenty of room. You could stick something else in there. And over here, this is another envelope as a flip. Again, magnetic closure. These big cards. And here is a band. You just turn the B, flip this up. These big cards. All that, and you can see if you flip this down, it completes the image. Just turn the B back, and here we are, ladies, to the very back. It's an antique bronze clip there, and this is your actual journaling pages. And I believe there is 80 surfaces, so that would be 40 pages folded, and then you've got each side, giving you 80 altogether. But it's just paper you've seen throughout the journal. All of it can be written on, even the images. They're light enough that you could write something. Lots of pretty papers. And that concludes our tour. Finally made it to the back. It, as I said, it's a chunky one. It's got 5 double-sided pages all held together with the jump rings. And I appreciate all the time you've spent with me. I truly do. Until next time, have fun and always stay crafty. Bye-bye.